In the court's lab, back when breakfast
Count.
had, in the count's lab, back when breakfast had ended, Starbeam arrived with Kuro, as he said, while finding the count going through some books he has on dragons.
If you're trying to identify what wyverns are, you're wasting your time. Jericho told us that they are subspecies of dragons that can only be found on Korak, her homeworld. Yeah, I got that. I'm curious about how similar they are to their much known cousins,
Said Count Midnight with a curious look as he approached Kuro, who took one look at his wings and started looking confused.
Oh, I'm a bat pony.
Kuro made an oh look before Starbeam said with a chuckle as he brought Jericho's personal book on black wyverns.
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 Here, it's a scrapbook Jericho put together on them growing up. Only Draconic would let their hatchlings do studies on very dangerous creatures.
Said Count Midnight before looking it over.
Interesting. It says that wyverns come in every color of the rainbow, but black wyverns series are considered the most hostile in the wild. They use shadow magic and dark magic. They also have amazing eyesight, like on the see in the dark. And only one wyvern species has ever been kiddified, and it's been confirmed they have a sweet tooth. Yeah, I figured that out when I gave her a chocolate muffin on the way to her city.
Said Starbeam, which seems to get a giggle from Kuro.
I still feel bad for doing it to Kuro, but if I ever met Movik, I would make her pay for the poor treatment of creatures like her.
I was quite surprised at how much there is to a date. Princess Luna told me that sometimes dates are just picnics, but she had to be honest that she's not had much experience in this, as I have had zero experience in any of this. I suddenly burst out laughing at something to which Princess Luna says with a confused look, "Hey, what's so funny? I'm trying my best here." "Oh, I know, you've done nothing wrong. I would never laugh at your dismay or anything," I say, before noticing several eyes are staying, so I get a hold of myself. I just realized something that has been bugging me at the back of my mind for a while now. Did you know it's almost been a full year since I came to your world? Talk about an interesting early birthday present. "Your birthday is coming up?" said Princess Luna in a surprised tone. But I suddenly turned sad at that. "What is it?" "It was my birthday the same day I came to your world, the same day the Council of Evil took everything from me, including my parents," I say, as sad dark memories surface in me. But I quickly shake it off for now. Let's just eat. There's something I'd like to show you that the waiter told me about. They say it's one of the many sights in this city that tourists have to see, and it's the right time of year for us to go there. "Okay, sure," said Princess Luna before we continue eating. Afterwards, we had to look around with me using a scrying spell for the site when I say while pointing in certain direction, it's this way. We head to one of the outskirts of the cities, down one of the drier tunnels, to an overhang ledge where I look around before nodding. Here's the spot where, whoa, just then a bunch of giant swan-like glowing creatures flew by the overhang we were on. Swollens? I knew they were rare in most worlds, but I never thought I'd actually get to see some, including during migration. They're beautiful, said Princess Luna, as I sit down and she joins me to sit on my side as we
It's supposed to be watched.
as we watch the migration through the caverns the Drider cities are built into. Hey Luna, thanks, I say, while turning to look at Princess Luna with a very happy smile, and after a moment she returns it. Hey, I think it's about time. You know how a Draconicus has kits. I don't think that's an appropriate topic for conversation, and I think it's still a bit early, said Princess Luna with a raised eyebrow. Oh, it's not what you're thinking. In fact, I'll use a spell to show you some images on how it's mostly done, I say, before reaching out with a claw towards her horn. You have to be willing for something like this, and I promise you it's totally safe. Princess Luna gulps before nodding that she's willing to go along with this. I put my one lizard claw to the tip of Princess Luna's horn, which lights up to where I touched, and both our eyes glow. I show images of the shape of a Draconic quill and another doing some kind of spell together, and it creates an egg. It's a sharing of our magical energy with the lever we choose that creates a Draconicus egg. This secret to how our species grows is very personal to any Draconicus that knows. This is why gender doesn't really matter to any of us, but it's very personal, so please. I promise I won't tell any creature without your consent, said Princess Luna, who realized how much I trust her as the image end. So does this mean that I'm okay with the idea of dating you and we're actually dating? Does this answer your question? I ask as I suddenly wrap my tail around hers to her surprise, and we chose to finish the day with watching the migration of the Swollens. It's moments like this where I'm glad I came here. I just wish it was under better conditions that we ended up meeting.